everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Pedal Podcasters. My name is Matt. Now, today we are looking at bass guitar effects because I've had this thing laying around for ages and ages, and I find myself pulling it out of the cupboard again and again and again to play around with. It is brilliant, and these are super cheap. You can get your hands on them very easily. They're readily available on eBay and Reverb, and most likely on your local Facebook Marketplace. They are everywhere. They are cheap. And because they're a Boss, they're built like a tank. Now, there are a few advantages of using bass guitar effects for your guitar, and I'll get to them. Just to make it a Boss show all around, I'm going through the Boss Katana Artist Mark II behind me. She's pretty clean. Alright, so first things first, in the chain, it goes from right to left. So the first thing you get in there is a limiter. Now the beauty of this thing is it's sort of like a compressor. You can actually use it as a boost as well. So I know it's really hard for you guys because you're not playing the guitar here, but it instantly gets all squishy under your fingers. So we can get a little bit of boost out of that, which is awesome, and a little bit of compression as well. Next in the chain, we actually have a combination of effects with one switch. This is the Overdrive and the Enhancer. So what the Enhancer does is adds a little bit more presence. It's like a presence control on your amp. Now you might notice I've got my level here. About 12 o'clock, there is heaps of gain on tap as well. And I've done another video on the Overdrive in this pedal because I can't work out which pedal it is, but it's a really lumpy, chunky overdrive that I really love. So this is why I keep pulling this pedal out. So there's no tone control on this Overdrive, and I'll explain why later on. There's just the Enhancer. Now, what this does do, even though it doesn't have a tone knob, it does have a really cool trick up its sleeve. And that is because it's a bass overdrive, it gives you the ability to blend your dry signal back in with it. So normally, traditionally, when you step on a fuzz pedal or an overdrive pedal when you're playing the bass, all the real low frequencies disappear out of your signal. So this lets you blend some of your original signal back in so you maintain all your bottom end while you're playing the bass. So there's my dry signal. Half and half. And then with a bit of a volume boost as well, full gain. Full distorted signal, I should say, not gain. Then you can get even more gain out of it if you punch the limiter into it. Which is totally awesome. Right, now the Overdrive section doesn't have tone knob at all, but that's okay because right after it is the EQ channel. So I've set it up with a little bit of extra bass there, a little bit of extra treble to sort of emulate a Nobles. So there's that, and then you can sort of put a sort of sad face on it. Bit of a sad face on it to get a tube screamery sort of sound. And of course the level on this side, the beauty of having a level on there on your EQ is that you can actually use it as even more boost. So you can use the limiter to boost to the front of the distortion. Then you can use the level on the EQ to really punch a signal into your amp behind you. There's a huge amount of gain on tap. So I'm already loving this pedal. Like I said, these are about $100. You can just pick these up anywhere. Now, the last section is really fun. So this is a combination of delay, chorus, and flanger. So I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but if you've got really long delay times, you end up with a delay or a repeat that you can audibly hear in your signal. If you've got a really, really short delay time, you end up with a chorusing effect if you modulate the amount of delay. And then if you do it even shorter, again, down to tenths of milliseconds, you end up with flanger. So they can do all three effects with the one pedal. And I'm going to go through it all now. So that's as much as I can get out of it. That's with the fine tuning adjusted on the longest setting, which is 300 milliseconds. Right, the next setting down. Next setting down again. We're sort of getting into slap territory there. Good slap. Right now, so I think this next range is sort of in the middle of chorus and delay. Pots are a little bit dicky on this one. So the rate knob on this actually has an effect on, the fine knob, sorry. The fine knob actually has an adjustment for the chorus sounds as well. But it is a lovely, lush chorus. Then, as the milliseconds get shorter and shorter, what's the next one? 10, 16. It might be getting into flange territory, or it might still be chorus. We'll have a listen. Still sounds like chorus to me. Right, so now we're down to, what are we, down to 8 milliseconds. By turning the feedback up, we are now definitely all the way down into flanger mode. Try and squeeze a little bit more out of it for you. All the way down to 2 milliseconds. So that's about it. So this does have full stereo output. You're not hearing it in stereo today. It's just in mono. So what this does, because these are all bundled in together into one effect, when you're actually all the way around, when you're all the way around in the 300 millisecond mode, not only do you get beautiful, pristine digital delays, you can also muck around with the pitch of them, because there is still the LFO in there from the chorus and the flanger section doing its thing. So if you start to turn up the depth and the depth and the rate here, you actually get pitch modulated delays, which is well before anybody else did it. And you can take that all the way up to extreme settings. So absolutely extreme. Which is super duper awesome. And there we are, just back to good old stock standard digital delay. So anyway, look, if you are on a bit of a budget, or you did want to try something a bit different, bass guitar effects for your guitar can actually have lots of great benefits. Again, like I said, the ability to mix in your dry signal, like a Sparkle Drive does, a really big EQ section, and of course something like this. You know, like every bass player I've had has had a chorus pedal on there, or some sort of pedal. But the ability to have chorus, flanger, and delay all in one section is pretty awesome, with stereo outputs and a headphone output as well. So, look, have a look at this. This is the BE-5B. There is another version that doesn't have the EQ on it. I can't remember what that's called. It might just be the BE-5M or something like that. But anyway, look, these are great value. They're well under $100 everywhere, and there's thousands and thousands of them. So do yourself a favor. If you're looking for something different, a few different tones, want to stand out a little bit, this might be a really good option for you. So thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got this far, give us a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe. It's absolutely free to you, and it helps the channel out a lot. So thank you very much for tuning in today. We'll see you next time. Bye.